everyone, welcome to Hashtag Spina Bifida. So in the past, I have talked about my experiences being in elementary school, middle school, high school, but I've talked more on the technical side, a little bit how relationships work, and just like tricks and stuff that I did in those years on using the bathroom, all those things. I wanted to do a few videos discussing how I felt emotionally during these times in my life. So first we're going to talk about being in elementary school. So here in the United States, elementary school is from kindergarten to 5th grade. You're 5 and then you're like 10. So for me in kindergarten, emotionally I felt like everybody else. I didn't see any differences with other kids because no one talked about differences like that at that age. No other kids had accidents, I had accidents, so I thought that was normal. I did think that kids had surgery like I did, but I never really talked about it. So for the most part, at least what I can remember of being in kindergarten is that I was really just happy. First, second, and third grade, I found myself confused a lot because I still had my surgeries, but I started noticing differences with my peers and with me on accidents. But again, nothing was ever really discussed. My friends never really asked me questions. If things happened, they would just kind of ignore it and make a big deal. So for the most part, I was still happy. But I felt a little bit confused because I could notice differences and I didn't know really how to address that. 4th and 5th grade was starting to change. I started getting really anxious in those grades and very sad, although no one really knew because I had thought, well, I can't show anyone if I'm upset, because to me I didn't have a good enough reason to be upset, even though I did and my feelings were valid at the time. I just always acted happy with my peers, but teasing really began in those grades, with how I walked, with how I ran, with accidents that were still happening. So I found myself very anxious and watching everything I did at this point, since I knew and I could identify that I had a disability and my peers were not disabled. I felt like I had to do everything in my power to hide a part of who I am, to not show that I'm disabled, and to never let anybody know. I never really talked about it. And I remember feeling very upset because I had to have surgery my 5th grade year. And I came back and all my friends knew about my disability. Some stopped being friends with me, but it was because my teacher had told my whole class why I was gone. And that was the first time that really happened. Usually in the past, when I was younger, teachers never really discussed that because kids thought I was gone, but most of my teachers say, oh, Andrea's just sick. So 5th grade, I felt very violated and just overall sad and ashamed of who I was. So basically, from kindergarten to 5th grade, I went from not being aware about my differences to becoming hyper aware, and as a result, feeling really happy in kindergarten to being really anxious and upset in 5th grade. But those were my feelings at that time in my life, and I wanted to express them and share them. And next video, I will be talking about the feelings I had when I was in middle school. So that's all I have for you for today on Hashtag Spina Bifida. If you have any questions on Spina Bifida, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know as well. And until next time, bye!
I didn't know music was gonna play. I should have known music was gonna play, but I just thought like, oh, it's just going off. But anyway, how I felt in elementary, for me, elementary was from kindergarten to 6th grade, and middle school was 7th and 8th. But or was it 6th, 7th, and 8th was middle school? I can't remember. It's been a minute since I was in middle school and elementary. I'm 27 now, so it's been over 10 years, well over 10 years since I've been in middle school. Because 10 years ago, I was like a junior or some shit. But what was it like for me in elementary school? As far as I can remember, like 5th grade, I'm pretty sure kindergarten and kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, it wasn't that big of a deal because I don't even remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I can remember as far as like 5th grade, 6th grade, people talked about me, of course. With anything you're going to get talked about. That was That's normal to get talked about. Even popular people get talked about. You know, I went to school with popular people who got rumors spread about them and false accusations spread about them and things said about them that was no way, shape, or form real. You know, I remember when I was a kid, people thought my legs were fake. You know, it was rumors that I was shot, but I wasn't shot. I was born with spina bifida. It was rumors that I got hit by a car. It was rumors I got hit by a train. Wild shit that I don't even see that how that could add up with me. Because I would just automatically assume if somebody was hit by a car or a train, through the grace of God, they walking, but I would just automatically assume that person is going to be like paralyzed and can't walk, you know. But yeah, it was rumors I got hit by a car, shot, got into a car accident, got hit by a train. These were elementary rumors, like 4th grade, probably around that time. Them type of that time period, 4th, maybe 5th grade rumors. Yeah, like I said, people talked about me more so girls than guys. Dudes didn't really talk about me, but girls did. And I used to do projects about my disability. Like I used to write papers and do projects, and my teacher would give me extra credit or just give me points when, like, if we're doing a project, I can use that as a project, and I already know about my disability, so it was easy to make that into a project or an assignment. Or if I need extra credit, I would say, can I do a project about my disability? And they would let me do it. And my mom would come up to the school, for those who remember me in school, and I would talk about my disability in front of everybody, and that kind of like coped me for this type of thing, talking about it to y'all on YouTube in front of the world. But yeah, elementary was pretty much like everybody else in elementary. You know, you got your friends, and then you got people that talk about you. Everybody got talked about in elementary. But how I felt about my disability in elementary, I felt like I had the worst life in the world. Like, you couldn't pay me to believe somebody else out there in the world had a worse life than me. But as I got older and learned about life, I realized my life is a piece of cake compared to a lot of people. There's people out there with herpes. There's people out there with HIV, AIDS, stage 4 cancer. It's people who were paralyzed from the neck down. Like, my life is such a blessing compared to those lives. So I quickly grew out of that by middle school. By middle school, which is what I'm probably going to do a video on next, I quickly grew out of that feeling like my life is the worst life in the world by 7th, 8th grade. And that's when things started to get real peachy for me. But, yeah, I'm going to cut this short because this camera about to cut off in less than a minute. But I love y'all, man, and I appreciate y'all. I think I just hit 367 subscribers. Probably past that now, but last time I checked, I was at 367, so I love all 367 of y'all. If it's more of y'all, I love y'all too. Y'all extra people that came after 367, I love y'all too, man. Y'all keep subscribing, keep sharing my videos, and telling the word about me, man. I'm doing this for y'all.